In this video, I'm going to cover the 4 best ways to promote your songs on Spotify without paid ads. My name's Chris, also known as the Artist Manifest. I have about 500,000 monthly listeners, and I've been doing music for over 20 years full time. And I'm always looking for ways to promote my music without always having to drop money. Now, this is the thing. Everyone pays. You either pay with your time or you pay with your money. And as we're trying to get to this music dream, I don't know about you, but I want to get to my dreams faster. Why? So I can enjoy my dreams longer, so I can enjoy the lifestyle longer, so I can live in the dream longer. And so we're going to share some organic ways, but I'm also going to share how you can amplify those with doing it paid. And the first one, and this is probably my best and favorite one, and I cover this in my book, Spotify Profits. I go into more detail, but is to collaborate with other artists. Okay, partner with musicians in your genre to cross-promote each other's music through playlists, social media, but definitely Spotify when you do a primary artist feature. That means when the song comes out, it's on your profile and it's on their profile. Sometimes we'll collaborate with 3 of us and it's on all 3 of our profiles. So now when I'm promoting the song, they get a lift. When someone else is promoting the song, I get a lift, and it's like we all grow together, and you get to tap in to that person's network, their relationships, everyone that's following them. Like, you have no idea who's following them, and now they go and check out you. And what happens if that artist blows up later on, and now you have a song with them? Like, that's huge. Now you can use that song to promote to their audience, and you have so much leverage there. Like, I had done a bunch of shows with this hip-hop artist named NF, who's pretty famous, and we were going to do a song together, but it didn't end up happening. But how powerful would that have been if we had have done the collaboration together? Sure, we got a photo together, or we've done shows together, but what if we had a song together, right? And this is wild to me because back in the day, we would tour with so many artists. Like, we would do like all these tours, these big tours, right? And we would look at the social proof that way, which is amazing, right? Like, you tour with someone, but why did we not write songs together? Like, I'm kicking myself to this day for years of all these different artists I toured with. If I had done songs with them, because the tour just happens once, but the songs live forever. They're going to outlive me. Your songs are going to outlive you. Right? Like, and when you have all these collaborations, they keep working when you stop working. And so you got to understand, like, if you collaborate with another artist, you're tapping into that social proof. Now, if you're an artist and like you want to collaborate with someone, sure, you collaborating with someone your size, it's not really going to do a lot unless you have like 100,000 monthly listeners or you have 1 million monthly listeners, then that will tap into their 100,000. But if you're at like 5, 10,000, anything below 100, you really want to work with someone who's bigger than you, right? Because you want to grow, right? You can't shrink into greatness. You have to stretch. And sometimes it takes a little bit more effort and a few more DMs, a few more emails to get someone's attention to finally get a collaboration that's bigger than you. But once you've done it, well, then you grow. And you might be saying, well, I got to pay for the collaboration. Who says you have to pay? You know, this is all about using your resources, not your, or using your resourcefulness, not your resources, right? And so why not give them a piece of the publishing? Why not give them a piece of the master? And then there's no money exchanged, and it's just a real collaborative effort. Now you both put your efforts into it. Now, there are some people who will not do a feature with you if they're too big, and you might have to pay. Right? You have to pay to play, right? And so you might have to but that'll get you to your goal faster sometimes. So let's just be honest here. You can collaborate with all these smaller artists that are maybe 50,000 bigger than you or 100,000 monthly listeners bigger than you. But let's just say you pay someone $100 or $500 to get someone who's got 200,000 monthly listeners or bigger. And I'm just throwing out numbers there. But the point is, if you want to get to your goal and your dream faster, why not pay to speed it up? Or you can be resourceful and you can just basically trade. All right. I personally think it's a balance of both, but I love just doing the collaborative. That way we both got skin in the game. Sometimes, hey, if it's my song or whatnot, I want to just pay to get it done and to move things along. Some people just want to get paid. And then they don't want a piece of the master, which I think is crazy because, like, this is the difference between amateurs and professionals. Amateurs want the money up front. Professionals normally are willing to play the long game because they know the music. Like if you get a sync placement or that song blows up, like you get paid once and now you don't have a piece of the master. Where you have a piece of the master, now you own that thing for life, and that thing could pay you for years and years to come. And from my experience, and this has happened dozens of times now, where a song could be out for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, sometimes even 5 years, and then boom, it takes off. And during those 2 to 3 years, nothing. And then all of a sudden, boom, sync placement. Or all of a sudden, boom, it goes viral. Like it's happened to me on multiple songs. So I would say play the long game. Number 2 is to utilize TikTok, Instagram Reels, YouTube Shorts, Facebook Reels, basically utilize social media, okay? And so you got to come up with cool content. You got to come up and you got to shoot dope content. That means you got to spend some time seeing what's good, what works for your brand. Maybe you don't want to do skits. Maybe you do want to be funny. Maybe you do want to be storytelling. You got to figure out if you want to do live performance. What are you going to do, though, that's going to be amazing content? And amazing is basically, in my opinion, just something that gets eyeballs, right? That Instagram and Facebook and all these social media platforms are going to want to share. That's like that good that people want to share it. So it's got that viral potential to drive traffic back to your Spotify and back to Apple Music and all your streams, right? And again, that's going to take time. Like everyone pays. You're going to either pay with your time or you're going to pay with your money, but everyone pays. That's why I buy courses, I buy books, I buy coaching to get to my goal faster, right? Because I don't want it to take forever. I want to get to my dreams quicker so I can enjoy it longer, right? So if you have something that is crushing it on social media, what do? Well, once something's blown up and it's like gotten thousands of views or hundreds of thousands, millions, whatever it is, that's what you take and you run as an ad. Okay, I'm always going to lean this back to paid. Okay, these are all free, but you want to amplify it even more. Well, then you throw some gasoline on it. You throw some money on that fire. You know what I'm saying? Because if something is working, what we do as artists normally, when something's working, we're like, oh, okay, I'm bored and I'm going to go do something different, right? Like that's what we do. Where my mentor says, when something starts working, I don't get bored with it. I get paid with it. Woo, that's good. I don't get bored with it. I get paid with it. That means I stay focused. If this song is freaking working, why are you jumping to another one? You got 10,000 streams on it, 100,000 streams. You think that's a lot? No. How about 1 billion streams? Right? What's that part on social media, that movie, The Network or whatever, Social Network or whatever, where I forget the guy's name, but he says it to Mark Zuckerberg, where like, what's cool? 1 million? And then I think he's like 1 billion. And then it just like, it shut the game down. And you tell me, would 1 million streams change your life? That's about $3,000. Or would 10 million streams, where that would be what? That's times 10, that'd be 30,000, right? Of one song. Right? So we want to dive deep and focus on a song and push it and market it long enough. And I'm going to answer the question you guys are thinking, well, how long do you market a song? Well, give it at least a few months, right? You got to give it some time to think. And you could push it hard for a few months or 5 weeks or whatever it is, and it might not take off. But you got to give it a chance. For a lot of you, you don't give it a chance. And then when it does take off, you jump onto the next thing. It's like, no, stay on that thing. What else can we do? Lyric video, music video, more shorts, more reels. Like, let's stay on this thing. Give me some fire emojis if you're feeling what I'm putting down. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? Okay, number 3, submit to playlists. Okay, obviously, when you schedule the song, you want to pitch to the release radar. Okay, that's free in your artist.spotify dashboard. Okay, so definitely do that. You also can reach out to independent curators yourself. And again, you can Google those, you can look those up, you can search them, you can look on Facebook, Twitter, find out who's running these curated playlists, you can reach out to them, but that's going to take time, right? Or you can use your money and you can pitch to a playlist push or Submit Hub or whatever the different playlisters out there, right? You can do that and you can get there quicker because they've already got all the genres listed out. And so it's just like, I'm going to pitch my song because I have a rock song, I'm going to pitch it to all the rock playlists, or I'm going to pitch it to all the hip hop playlists or country, etc. Right? But you want to get on playlists. And the reason you want to get on playlists, and whether it's editorial, independent, but most importantly, algorithmic. Okay, we get hundreds and hundreds of thousands, millions of streams actually a year from algorithmic playlists because we triggered them by driving enough traffic via independent playlists, my own playlists, and just straight streams, right? Just driving traffic via streams or organic or collaborations, all these things that we triggered the algorithm, and Spotify has enough data to say, oh, these are the types of people that are listening to their music. I'm going to throw this in their Discover Weekly. I'm going to throw it into their radio. I'm going to throw it into the DJ algorithmic playlist. And now all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You're showing up in discovery mode and it's just freaking taken off. Like, and then it's unstopped. It's crazy. You can't beat the algorithm. You know what I'm saying? So that's huge. So I hope this has helped you. I'm not done. I still got one more that I want to share with you, but make sure you've either downloaded this book right now, Spotify Profits, or Song Launch. I suggest you get both of them. They're both on Amazon, Audible, I think even on Spotify. I think you can listen to them. But take action on this stuff and even just choose one. Is it going to be collaborate with other artists and really focus on that? And then sure, do your reels or whatever. Or are you really going to focus on mastering content, right? Because we don't want to be a jack of all trades. We want to be a master, right? Are you going to be a master at working with other artists and build your infrastructure? Like, I kind of look at it like your house, right? And like each collaboration is kind of like a pole. And it's like, and the house is sitting on all these different poles to hold up the business. And so your business is connected to that artist. Your business is connected to that artist. And now you're getting streams from this person, from this person, from this person. And then of course you guys are going to do Instagram reels together and shorts and all this stuff, right? Of course you're all going to submit to the playlists and all that stuff, right? But I honestly think it starts with like collaborations. And it might not even be just with another artist. It could be with another producer. Producers have monikers and profiles on Spotify and might want to work with you if they think you're dope or the song's dope and it's a collab and you get out there. Okay? So what's number 4? Number 4 is release consistent music. Drop new tracks regularly to keep your audience engaged and improve your chances of landing on those editorial playlists, triggering the algorithm, and of course the release radar. Okay, that release radar is a massive algorithmic playlist that triggers each time you release a song. But you can't just release consistent music and not be doing any of these other things. Like, you're fooling yourself if you think you can spend $500, $1,000, $5,000 on the song and then spend $50 on marketing. Like, whatever you're spending on the song, you got to at least be spending that or double on the marketing if you want to grow. And it takes 10 times the amount of effort and money than you think it does, right? Like we say we try and we want this big result, but we're not willing to put our money where our mouths are. And like you can, and this is all about like without paid. Like I showed you all the stuff, right? But like if you want to get there quicker, I suggest you put some paid into that. But like the organic stuff works, especially the collaborations. Like that's like guaranteed. And same with the Instagram Reels. I've interviewed Nick D. You've seen with Connor Price. There's so many different artists that have done the organic thing, but they had to spend their time. And it was not overnight. It took months, years. And you've got to say, okay, I'm in this for the long game. I'm in this for the long term because you want your dream bad enough. And you didn't come this far just to quit now. Maybe you've been knocked down. Maybe you've been ripped off. I don't know what your story is. I don't know what you've gone through, but I know God does. And I know He didn't bring you this far just to leave you now. And your breakthrough is just around the corner if you don't give up. I was on a really gnarly tour. They treated me like garbage. And I had this job wanting to bring me back. And this is like 20 years ago. And they wanted to pay me $70,000+ a year. And yet I went onto this tour where I had to pay to play. I had to pay $150 a night. And I also had this job, and I ended up taking the tour and going into debt and investing in my career. And little did I know, it was just a few months later that we started selling 10,000 albums a week in Japan, right? And it just changed my career, breathed new life into my career. And then finally we had success in Canada. And then finally, it was 2 records later, we finally had success in America with radio. Took off on radio, and then we sold over 50,000 copies of this album, hundreds of thousands of singles on iTunes. People now asking me to tour. I'll never forget this one tour where we paid $500, I think it was a night, or no, I can't remember. What was it? It was like 500 or something like that. I can just say it was 500. And then they wanted me to tour again. And I was like, I'm getting so many offers that now that they had to pay me 500. So it's funny that I invested the 500 to get on the tour, right? Per show or whatever it was. I can't remember. But then when I toured with them again, I got paid 500, right? And so it's just wild that I made the investment, I stayed in the game, and then the tables did turn. And so I want you to know that the tables will turn for you, but you got to stay in the game, and you got to make great music, and you got to not give up.